Good morning, everybody. It's kind of a different thing this morning. We'll see if I post it. Melissa and I leave tomorrow, which is the eve of my birthday, for Florida. We're going to get away for a long weekend. Be back Monday, and I'm not taking a computer and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to go do the beach and just kind of rest, relax a little bit, and kind of recharge. September and October are big months for the gym. We've got lifters lifting at IPA Worlds, and then I'm going to compete and get my ass handed to me at Bench Nationals, USA Powerlifting Bench Nationals. And then the following month, we're in Spokane. Several Team Ogre members are going to be competing, and that will be a busy week. And those types of meets tend to take a lot out of me because I'm old and frail. So anyway, this morning, I didn't train this morning. I'm as getting ready for Bench Nationals and having to be out of town. I will bench tonight in a shirt with Ahmed Mito, and so I was just paying attention to what everybody else was doing. And the long story short, apparently my birthday is Saturday, and the thing about when you reach a certain age, you kind of, I'm going to be 53, and while that's not old by any stretch of the imagination, I'm certainly distinguished enough in my age that I'm not young anymore. And but I also am fully aware and have lived long enough to see people not be afforded the time that I have, and that truly is a blessing. And so I am totally blessed to not only be alive in the world that we live in today, but to get to do what I do, not only from a personal level, as an athlete and my job and all the other things that go along with it, but to be able to work with so many people, or at least so many people to me. I know there's some online coaches out there that train just tons of people. But anyway, the point of all this is the team, and this was spearheaded by Corey Jean. I don't know what would inspire people to do this and spend so much time on something, but I was pretty overwhelmed. They made me a website. I've owned a website for a while that I took over the weightlifting discussion, and mainly it was back in the day of forums. It was a really busy forum, and of course all those things with social media have gone by the wayside, and I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And Scott DePanopoulos made me a website, and I just never could get the grasp of doing it and the costs and all those things. So anyway, I guess Corey Jean schemed with Davey Herbo and everybody else, and I don't know how they paid for this or anything. I know it wasn't free, and made a website for the gym. And a quick aside, and I told them this morning, I haven't really announced this too much, but I have signed on with Aplift. Now, all of your current Team Ogre folks, this does not mean you have to start paying for Aplift. They eventually want me to migrate everybody over to the platform, but it's a learning curve. I got to learn how to use it. And anyway, I'm going to be an Aplift coach, and I'm really excited about that for a lot of different reasons, but I'll get into that another time. One of the things that I had to do when I was filling out my form and application and all those things is I had to have a website. And on Facebook, I've got a spot for the Ogre Compound, and so I went to get the web address, and I just punched it into the header, and I saw this web address come up, theogrecompound.com, and I thought, man, has somebody already beat me to the punch? Because I thought, well, maybe one of these days I'll have a real website. But I I don't. And so I went to the site just to see what it was, and it was like a coming soon page, and it was like about fruit juice or something. I don't have any idea. So I just dismissed it. And turns out that was where, I don't, they call it migration and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what any of that means. So anyway, apparently I almost found it and didn't realize it. But behind the scenes, apparently this has been going on for some time. I got a birthday video from Grant Brace, and wishing me a happy birthday from college. And why he spent, there was one day he was in there, I came home and he was still cleaning the gym, and I mean, it looked great. I mean, our gym's a hole in the wall, and I got no problem with that. It's in the basement of my house, and so it's not always the most pristine, and there's things that need to be repainted and stuff that needs to be fixed. There's always something seemingly to fix. But anyway, they have been doing this apparently for a while. I guess Corey got somebody to do all these pictures. It makes it look a lot fancier than it is, but just to not, because there's so many people that were involved when I saw all the names on the birthday card, and so I wanted to do this because I didn't want to try to send out a message and miss somebody or anything. And I will admit, I'm at the age in my life where certain things emotionally touch me off. Like when Melissa hit her elite total, and to see her jump in the air like a kid, just completely elated. When my son squatted 805 when he got married, when they announced that they were engaged, those things elicit quite an emotional response from me. And I'm a pretty emotional guy. As fiery as I can be, I am equally emotional about little things. On the athlete page, I believe Jennifer is at the top, and her video clip is in 2017, Rogue came down and did this wonderful video, and it always touches me. It kind of punches me in the feels, and I'll tell you why. Sorry about my focus here on the phone. Now, first, no one on this planet, including Jen's parents and kids, is more proud of Jennifer than me. I vividly remember, Jennifer the first day that she walked in the gym to meet me, and she's come a long way. Not as a lifter. She was a very talented lifter when she walked in the door, but I've just seen this immense growth, in the person that she's become, and to do the things that she's done, to have the willingness and the self-faith to step away from my programming and go to somebody else's. While it pissed me off at the time, it was clearly the best thing for her, and to still be a part of it is quite a blessing. Now, she will have to tell you the value of that. She do that just so I'll shut up, or she'll have to determine the value of that. But for someone to work that hard and to get accolades like she has is well deserved, and I'm immensely proud of what she's achieved, and I'm eager to see what's to come. For me personally in the video, because it's not about me, but when you build something from scratch, and my training program is built from scratch, and that gym was, an old basement, and 2/3 existed when I first moved into the house. So there's been the amount of hours, that are way too many to count or to track, of all the things that have been done in there just to make it what it is, and to see it represented in the light, and to see Sierra, our German Shepherd, she makes her international debut in that video. But to see something that you have put your life into and your passion, and just a small place for people to train and come together that are like-minded, that love to train and love to pursue being better versions of themselves, and see it portrayed in that manner is something that I take immense joy in. And it, just about every time I watch it, it makes me tear up, because I know her journey. I know the other athletes in the video, I know their journey, and mine, where I started from when I had no money. Not that I have any money now, but I just have better credit. But I used to, I would do an extra side job, and before I had the gym, and I would take extra money, or if I'd paid all my bills and I had an extra $20, I would go to Play It Again Sports or somewhere, and I'd buy all the 2.5 pound plates that I could buy. And a lot of people thought I was crazy because I just stack them up in my garage in the house I rented at the time. And I was like, eventually I'm going to have a gym, and I don't want to be that gym that doesn't have enough 45s because they're all on a leg press, or has 2 pairs of 2.5 pound plates and you can't ever find any when you need to make 495, 500 pounds, that sort of thing. And to see some of the quotes, like Matt Curiali from Canada, I never thought of it like this, but I've been coaching Matt now for a few years, and he decided he wanted to come down and train at the gym, and people do that. They come and stay with us, and I love that stuff, and I'm very much a mi casa su casa guy. What's mine is yours, and my bourbon collection is my hobby. And I was telling someone that Richard this morning, the joy of that bourbon collection is not all the cool bourbons I have, and there's some cool bourbons. It is the joy that I receive is when I get to share that bourbon with other people, and share the tasting and the passion and the legacy of bourbon and what it means to me. And much is the same about the gym. I love to prepare, and I love to pursue strength, and I super love working with people that want to do those things, and it's always very exciting. And to have a group of people that believe in what you do, not just being the guy that, like in the band, that owns the PA in the van, so he's in the band, that when you own a gym, I've said this before, and it bears repeating, anybody can build a building, and anybody can put a bunch of gym equipment in it, and that'll be just fine. But what makes a real gym, what makes it a home, and what makes it family are the people that train there. And I understand I facilitate that, and I'm blessed to do it. And it's moments like this, because there's a lot of toil, there's a lot of work. You got to take out the trash, and you got to stock the drink cooler, and you got to fix the light. There's always one that I've got taken apart where bulbs are out, or a ballast is, or something is torn up. You're always tweaking equipment, because you've got all this stuff to look after. And sometimes people don't come across as appreciative, or, there's, it takes a certain level of ego and pride to do what you do in there. And there's turmoil, there's clashes. And when you do it all day, every day, there's times where you get weary, and you're like, is this worth it? Do people appreciate this? Am I doing this for the right reasons? And you have these reminders, This past weekend was a great reminder to see someone like Corey Jean, her story is just immense. She had just started training with us. It's been a few years now. I can't pinpoint the time specifically. but she messaged me. She travels for work a lot, and long story short, she had a physical condition that was very dangerous, and I was very afraid for her. But you know, the thing about Corey, and she did this in her post, man, she just doesn't give up. She just doesn't quit, and she does not let her traveling, and whether it's for work or personal, it doesn't faze her. She will march into a gym in the middle of Germany. She doesn't care. She's going to train. And those are the things that I love, when people will do it no matter what, you know. And you know, I think she survived that whole ordeal because not just being a stronger person physically from her training, but just having the will. You know, those things count. And for her to, last year I competed with her, it was this coming weekend last year, and she had a good day. It didn't come across that way because she failed to qualify for nationals. But you fast forward to last weekend, and you know, she did extremely well. And I think for her, not only as a lifter, but just something inside her, I think especially after she pulled the deadlift, the third deadlift, she turned a corner. We've come to a new, we reached a point B, a destination that I think is going to be a springboard and for her, and has become a new point A. And so those are the things I love. And for people to take time, the most precious gift we give is not our money and not our material things, it's our time, because when that time goes by, it's expired, and it's extinguished, and there is no more. You can't cultivate more. And we get what we get, and there's a time stamp on all of us. So for me, my goal is to have an impact on people's lives, and I want to help them achieve. I want to collaborate. I don't want to be just the coach that's just in control and tells everybody what to do. And I have an interest in control, trust me, and I've been told that. But I want to collaborate with people to put them in a position to become the best versions of themselves, regardless of where they are in life and what kind of athlete they are. Yeah, I squatted over 1,000 pounds. Woohoo! I don't get a discount at the MAPCO for MAPCO coffee. I still got to pay full price. But it gives us the capacity to do great things with our lives. It's the skill set that's required to become more than you're built for, and to have an impact, and to get to share that with people. So the fact that all of you with Team Ogre, both at home and on the interwebs, you know, would take the time to do this is extremely touching. I don't know what else to say, although I've said a bunch of stuff, but know that deep down that I am touched and truly appreciative. And I'll continue doing what I do, and maybe this expands at what we can offer, or makes it easier for people to get in touch with us. That's my hope. And that if you follow our lifters that are, you know, on social media, that this will give you another platform, you know, and that we can do more things. So thank you, and I feel very blessed and very touched. All right.